Hey, welcome to the Trumbo fam. We are in June. The weather is beautiful. There's leaves that have already sprouted and are growing on the trees. We're slowly getting out of the quarantine life. Oh my goodness. It's been so nice to just get out more and more, little by little, out of that quarantine. Some special news came to us in the quarantine. Oh, Luke sees a ball. All right, go get that ball. Go get the ball. Special news happened during the quarantine in the Trumbo fam house. I couldn't be more excited. I found out that I was pregnant. This was more towards the beginning of the quarantine. March 27th was the day I got my BFP, my big fat positive. Okay, we're gonna walk and talk because Luke has left me. He's running away here. He found a basketball, his brother's basketball, huh? You like basketball? When I upload my finding out I'm pregnant video, you're going to see me be kind of nervous, scared, excited, but just nervous, and I talk about that in the video. So I just wanted to put this video out to kind of explain where my nervousness is coming from, why I'm scared to be excited. It kind of helps me in doing this video. It helps me if I can be an encouragement to other mamas out there that have been through the same thing, then it just really helps me to talk about it, get it out there, just talk about what I'm feeling. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm just gonna briefly go over my struggles and what I've been through. I've had 5 healthy babies, but I've also had 4 miscarriages, and those miscarriages all were pretty traumatizing to me. I had 3 healthy babies, all 2 years apart, and then my first miscarriage happened after Colton, my 3rd baby. No issues at all. I had mild pregnancy symptoms. I felt great. I felt awesome. Did not think that I was going to be told the news that I was going to be told. At 13 weeks, I was getting ready to go into my first OB appointment that I made, and I just remember that day I was just excited to be going through the milestones of the pregnancy, and the pregnancy was moving on, and I was 13 weeks. That's when they say that you know, sometimes you're out of the water because the percentage of miscarriages go down after 13 weeks. So I just remember, you know, yes, the day came for my first OB appointment. I was 13 weeks, and that morning I remember I had a little bit of spotting. I didn't think anything of it. I had called the doctor right away. My appointment wasn't going to be till in the afternoon. I called early that morning, and I was telling him what was going on. I was like, I have spotting. Should I come in now? What should I do? I really don't remember being super scared or anything, or thinking that I was miscarrying. So they said, as long as I'm not hemorrhaging or anything, just keep your normal appointment and we'll see you. I think it was around 2 o'clock or something. So I go in at 2, I was still spotting, maybe even a little more. Still didn't think anything though. I hadn't had any miscarriages, so that just wasn't on my mind. I had had 3 healthy babies, no problems. So I go in, the doctor checks me, and I just will never forget he just had a certain look on his face, like something wasn't right. So he takes me back, we do an ultrasound and to check a heartbeat, and the most devastating news came upon me, and I will never forget it. He told me there's no heartbeat. The sac was wilted. He showed me how the sac was wilted, thinking maybe that I had lost it around 10 weeks. So right then and there, the emotions, the first emotion that comes on you is just overwhelming, sadness. Dave came right away from work. He met me. We held each other tight. It just unravels your whole life, and just that, the feeling is just like no other. And you go home, you know, they schedule, the next step is the DNC, where they have to take it out, and that's just so emotional. Like you know, you're having this baby, you're excited, you're already thinking of all these fun things, you're so wrapped into that positive that you got. All the kids were wrapped into it and knew, and then you get this news and you have to try to unwind everything you were wrapped into. It's just, I remember as coming home, there's an anger, there's a sadness, then that turns into anger, and then there's like a feeling of failure, that you just start thinking of all these things like, did I do something wrong? Why couldn't I hold on to this pregnancy? What if I didn't eat healthy enough? What if I did this or that? You start blaming yourself, and you just got to get through all that traumatization of what happened. So I just want all you mamas to know out there, if you have been through something like this, you are not alone, and the struggle is very real. And I know a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people want to be like, just get over it, you're fine, you know, everything's going to be okay. Even if you've had healthy babies after that, you know, people are just like, why are you still thinking about that? But that ache in your heart never goes away. I mean, I have definitely mourned it and moved on, but I just want to get it out there that there was a huge struggle to get to the point where I'm at now. So just know that you're not alone. And I know a lot of you out there have been through this, and we're all together on this. I lost that baby at 13 weeks, February of 2011. And then June of 2011, I got pregnant again with our fourth baby boy, Easton. Everything was great, but since I had that previous miscarriage, they got me in right away. I remember calling, like the day I got a positive, I called the doctor, and they got me in right away. They did a blood test right away. They checked my progesterone, and with Easton, my progesterone was really, really low in those early weeks. And the doctor put me on a progesterone pill that I was to take twice a day. And he thinks that that could have been my issue with the baby I lost previous at 13 weeks, that my progesterone was not staying high enough to keep the pregnancy going and healthy, because you just really need that progesterone in there. So that's what they were thinking. So they got me on that progesterone. The pregnancy kept going and going. And there was cute little Easton. Almost 6 years go by, and we could not have been more happy as a family of 6, just doing our thing, traveling the world, having a good time. But then those feelings started coming over me again, and I just, you know the feelings, mamas, when you're wanting to have another baby, it's just hardcore feelings, and that's all you're thinking about, and it's time to have another baby. So I talked to Dave about my feelings, and it was a go, and we went into TTC mode trying to conceive, and I ended up getting pregnant after a year and a half. It took us a year and a half. We were super excited about seeing this positive again. It's been so long since we had a baby. Everybody was wrapped into it. The kids found out right away. We told them. We announced it to everyone else right away. We had this awesome photo shoot done for the announcement. Check this out. I'll never forget it. I will always cherish this photo shoot. I loved it. everything was going good. I called right away with this one again, just because I knew I had progesterone problems. They did my blood work and it looked like I did need to be on progesterone again for this pregnancy. So I'm thinking, okay, great, I'll take the progesterone, it will all be good, it'll work out. Got on that progesterone. They wanted to do a routine ultrasound at 7 weeks to check everything. So we got the ultrasound going at 7 weeks and they had found a bleed, and it's called a subchorionic hemorrhage. And these can happen around implantation. When the baby implants, it could cause a bleed, and sometimes the bleed can turn into later a hemorrhage or just cause a little bit of blood just to stay there by the baby's sac and eventually dissolve. So in my 7-week ultrasound, after I got the results, they told me that they had found this bleed. Not too big, not too worried about it. It will probably just dissolve and go away is what I was told. We're walking again. He's out here now. He's looking for his kitty. And everything was probably going to be just fine, and to come back in around 10 weeks to check on it, make sure it didn't get bigger. I go in for my 10-week ultrasound. Dave was with me in my 7-week, but he was working when I had scheduled this, and I had all the kids with me, so it was just me and my 4 babies, my 4 boys. They were super excited about it because the older ones remembered going in a couple times with Easton, but they were still younger. But just being able to go in and see the baby on the screen, see the heartbeat, the little flicker of the heartbeat beating, everyone was just, we were really excited, and we were planning on getting lunch afterwards and just having a good time together, just me and my boys. So we're going into the ultrasound room. Right away, you know, the boys are just like asking the tech all these questions, showing their excitement. She starts to perform the ultrasound, and she's just looking around, and it's taking a little while for her to say anything. Kind of looking at her face, it's looking a little bit, I'm just reading it as something's not right. She just kept looking at the boys and then looking at me. She leaned over and whispered in my ear, "I can't find a heartbeat." Again, the devastation, the fears, the anxiety, the adrenaline that starts pumping through your body, the shakiness in your voice, the blurry dizziness of looking around the room, of when you're getting that information, is just the flooded emotions that again come upon you in that moment. I'm just looking at my boys. I just immediately told the tech, let me have a moment with the boys. Let me just pray. Let me pray. So she left to go call the doctor to see what the next step was. And I just huddled my boys all around me and just began to pray and just ask God to come be with me and the boys and my family in this time, to just get me through to the next step so I can, because in that moment you're just thinking everything is at a loss, and it's just, I don't know, you just can't, unless you've been through it, you just don't know. So I just remember praying. I do remember a peace coming over me to be able to get me to the next step. But still, just, it was awful. So I get a call from the doctor because she said she told the doctor what had happened, that they can't find a heartbeat. The doctor's office called me back. They wanted me to come in, and they had some things to explain to me. They found something on the ultrasound. So they're telling me that the subchorionic hemorrhage, the blood from it, was kind of wrapped around the sac and most likely scabbed over, got a little hard, and started blocking the nutrients from coming in and out to the baby. what? I didn't even know that, you know, that was a thing, that could happen. So I'm like, okay. And they told me that it might not be that, but that's what it's looking like. And, or it could be that they just couldn't find a heartbeat. And that happens too a lot, where the ultrasound just doesn't pick it up. Come back in a week and we're going to perform another ultrasound. So here I am with the just slightest bit of hope that, you know, it's probably just the ultrasound machine. It didn't find the heartbeat, you know, thinking that that's what it was. And I'm going to go in a week. They're going to find it. Everything's going to be okay. I remember praying. My prayer was, God, please, just, I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Please let this baby still be alive. I remember on the way up to the ultrasound, I was by myself. Dave was going to meet me. It was like I heard this voice telling me, Megan, what if you're not going to see the heartbeat today? What are you going to do? Where's your hope? Where's your joy? Where does it lie? Does it lie in this and these earthly things, or does it lie in me? I remember that hitting me like a ton of bricks. Like it was something I needed to learn. That my hope, my encouragement, my joy did not come from having babies, did not come from my marriage, my husband. When, you know, things happen in life, things go wrong in life, anything can happen. We live in a fallen world. I mean, I could die, I could get diagnosed with cancer tomorrow. I could get in a car accident. Anything can happen, no matter what. I'm instilled in the Lord. My hope is in the Lord. And I think that time of my life, as I was a Christian and I was growing in the Lord, but I really needed this info and this implanted in my heart that you losing this baby, yes, it's hard, but your strength is in me, God. And I just felt that voice. And then the song, Mercy Me, they had a song come out right around the same time, Even If. You'll have to listen to it. Listening to that song and then just hearing that voice after the strong praying all week that I did was just a huge eye-opener. Now I know that God did not do this to me to get me to know this, but he sure used it. I know it's because the bad things happen because we live in a fallen world. This is a sinful world. Bad things happen, and that's why we need to keep our hope in Jesus Christ and our focus on the eternal life. I'm saved. I believe in Jesus. I believe he's my savior. I believe I'm going to heaven. So that I focus on it's the eternal life. When I die, I'm not going to die. My flesh will die, but I will live with Jesus. And you know what? One day I'm going to see my babies that I've lost, and they're going to be with Jesus. Like I said, I know God does not do these things to us, but he used it. Yes, having kids and getting married, that's like icing on the cake to what God could give us and do for us. And I just feel like that was something I really needed to be hit up with. Also, it really opened my eyes to other people's struggles. Yes, I was struggling, but there's a lot of other people going through something 10 times worse. And it just really opened my heart. I had a bigger heart for those out there in the world who struggles with things, because I just feel like I was just on the little minute end of struggle when there's so much going on in this world, so many struggles. I was hit up with like the smallest struggle, but my goodness, what about all the people out there that are going through so much worse? So that's just some encouragement I want to get out there. Kind of the feels, it's super hard to go through miscarriages and losses, but I just wanted to put my story out there that that's the feelings I got out of it. And yes, I hold a special place in my heart for my losses, but I feel that I'm a better person because of it. So stay strong, mamas. We're in this together. I hope this encourages you. I lost that baby in July 2017, ended up getting pregnant again June 2018 with baby Luke. Couldn't have been more excited. Got on progesterone right away. Here he is. He's here, healthy, beautiful baby boy. My 5th boy. Could not believe it. We actually kept him a surprise the whole pregnancy because we were just thinking we were gonna have a girl, and we just kept his gender a surprise until he was born, because we were like, oh my goodness, if this is a girl, we're gonna have a huge surprise in the end. But you know what? When they handed this baby to me, oh my goodness, I was like, did I want a girl? Are you serious? I wanted this baby right here that they handed to me, and I was so happy with him. Actually, a few months before I got pregnant with him, I had a miscarriage at 6 weeks. It was just a sudden loss, and that's just why it's kind of traumatizing too, those early ones, because you find out you got this positive for a couple weeks, and then in 2 seconds later you are having a miscarriage, and it's just awful. My 4th miscarriage happened just this past January, so here I am, pregnant again, and that is why I'm nervous to get excited, but I'm going to just keep hope, keep praying that everything's okay. Okay, so this is my little secret, I'll let it out, but I had some progesterone left over from Luke, and literally the next day after I found out I was pregnant, I just started taking it, because I don't know, it just makes me feel better. And I know that I'm going to call them soon, and I know that they're going to do a blood test and check it anyway, but I'm just going to continue to take it just for mental reasons. Progesterone is like such a wide range of levels that if I was okay, it's okay that I'm a little bit more okay in that range. So I'm taking it for mental reasons. And I say this is because it's without a doctor's consent, but I mean, I've been on it for the last several pregnancies. So I'm just gonna do the drill again, start taking it. They'll probably do a blood test. I'm gonna have to let my doctor know, because the blood test is probably gonna come back like normal because I've been on progesterone, but we'll see. I'll let them know. I would still like them to prescribe more, because these are like just a little over the expiration date. So I'm gonna want to get a new batch. So I'm gonna talk to them about that, if it's okay, because they're gonna be like, well, your progesterone's okay, you'll probably be all right. But I'm just gonna tell them that, no, please give me some, because I think the blood test was okay because I've been on it already. So I'm not sure how they're going to take that, but I don't know. It's making me feel better at this moment. So that is that. That's why I am scared, excited, overjoyed, all these emotions. I hope I was an encouragement to you mamas out there that have been through the same thing. Stay strong. Keep doing the awesome job you're doing as mamas. If everything is healthy and keeps going, there's so much more to report. So be checking for all those videos, hoping this all keeps going. Check us out.